I'm Howie Scarborough. I'm the CEO of Fall Protection Distributors. We've recently put out a blog about Freedom Metal Standing Seam Panel Series. They have 3 different panels that they produce. And what we're talking about is compatible fall protection for those roof systems to protect the roof system from penetrations while also protecting the workers. So for contractors that have upcoming work on a Freedom Metal Standing Seam roof, this is a perfect article to read over. It'll help you identify which panel you have and give you advice on what fall protection you can use. So if you scroll down through this article, you'll see each one of their panels. We do go into depth. We'll show you what the panel looks like. Sometimes you know who made the panels, but you don't know exactly what model it is. This will help you identify that. So you can quickly go through and read this information. And then down at the bottom, there's a quick reference chart. So you've got the panels across the top. You've got the products we're going to talk about down the left column. First thing you'll notice is their nail strip panels. So it's basically a snap lock with a nail flange, and then the next panel hides those heads of those nails. So it's great. That's a great standing seam system, but a lot of those nail strip panels are either not heavy enough gauge steel, or the seam shape is too wide at the bottom in order to compress the seam between the set screws. And in this case, it is 24 gauge, but it's too wide at the bottom. So we don't want to put our seam mounted equipment on those panels. We do have an alternative product down at the bottom, the Ridge Pro, we'll talk about in a second. So let's go through for the 2 snap lock panels. Let's talk about seam mounted equipment first. So starting with the SSRA1 Anchor. So that is a 1-piece aluminum body. It's 12 inches long, weighs about 4.5 pounds. It's got a removable D-ring on top, which allows adapter plates to be added. And that does not crush the seam. So because we use set screws, instead of squeezing 2 plates of steel together between bolts, we're only having to use a very low torque settings. For instance, with our cup tip set screw, that's only 90 inch-pounds on 22 gauge steel. And if you're on 24 gauge steel, you can use the nylon tip set screws, and those are going to torque 180 to 200 inch-pounds. Traditional anchors that are 2-piece anchors that squeeze the seam in between with bolts, those have to be torqued to over 100 foot-pounds of pressure. So that just crushes the seam. So you avoid that by using the SSRA1. The seam body does not smash the seam. You're only using set screws. So once you've determined which panel you have, and you've now got the anchors and you know those are compatible with your seams, you can remove the D-rings and get into the adapter plate. So with the anchor by itself, that's a single worker tie-off. And just keep in mind we're talking about 22 and 24 gauge steel panels only, non-curved. If you want to if you have a steep roof you're working on and you need walk boards for secure footing for your workers, you can take 2 SSRA1s, mount them on seams approximately 8 feet apart, remove the D-rings, mount a pair of SSRA2 roof jack adapters on top. And those are seam height adjustable as well as roof pitch adjustable. And that holds a 10-foot 2x10 wooden walk board. You want to make sure you use a full thickness 2-inch, of course. And that's going to support 1 worker. And then if you need to put temporary horizontal lifelines on standing seam roofs without penetrations, you would simply mount 2 SSRA1s, and the seams can be between 12 and 24 inches wide. Because when you mount the SSRA3 anchor plate on top of those 2 anchors, it has grooves that allow those top bolts to adjust in and out for different width seams. So it's very, very universal fit. That assembly of 2 anchors and an anchor plate, that's going to be 1 end point of a horizontal lifeline. So we sell a full kit that has everything you need. That would be 4 SSRA1 seam anchors, 2 SSRA3 anchor plates, and it also includes the 100-foot horizontal lifeline. So this is a 4-person Kernantle horizontal lifeline, but when you're working on standing seam, we do limit that to 2 workers on the rope at a time, just as an additional safety factor. If you are running a crew larger than that, what you can do is have additional SSRA1 anchors on hand, mount them above the work area right next to the rope. So as a worker travels to the work area, they would just clip off the rope and clip into a fixed SSRA1 that's mounted on a seam, descend the roof, do the work they have to do, and that way they're off the line so other workers can travel back and forth. Once you get a bunch of people on a horizontal lifeline, it's impossible to to pass each other anyway without clipping around each other. So it's better to clip off the line once you're going to be in an area for a few minutes. So for the nail strip panel that we talked about, and also for the other panels that are compatible with seam mounted equipment, they're also compatible with the Ridge Pro. So and it doesn't have to be a metal roof, it can be a shingle roof. A lot of different roof types are compatible with the Ridge Pro. The caveat with the Ridge Pro is that it's a 612 to 1212 pitch. So as long as it's a 6 to 12 pitch, you basically mount the Ridge Pro on the end of a lightweight 16-foot extension pole. You climb the ladder, you run it up the roof, flip it over the peak, you turn it 180 degrees, it locks over the peak of the roof, and you've now locked a vertical lifeline to the roof. So as soon as you step from the ladder to the roof, you're already tied off. So you can install other anchors for other workers, do an inspection, do a repair, chalk up a roof after hail damage, and you can get safely back to the ladder, and you've been tied off the entire time. So the Ridge Pro is a really versatile product. It's a lot of different roofs, and it's easy to transport, easy to get up and down. Very popular with the Christmas light installers, the roof inspectors, insurance inspectors, things like that. So if you have any questions about any of these products or any of these panels, our phone number is up here at the top of the page. You can email us at support@fallpd.com. And this little blue circle in the bottom right corner of the website, that's our live chat. Just let us know how we can help you.